Alright, let's look over at the sideboard here. Algebra 1B on Monday, the 31st of August, our last day of August. Kind of crazy, it feels like it flew by to me. SWBA students will be able to solve two-step equation, section 0.6. Okay? And there's a darn good chance we get through this section today, and we have a lot of time. In which case, we might get a head start on Wednesday's lesson, but only do the one homework assignment still, okay? But just get a head start on the lesson, just so we earn ourselves some more free time later, okay? So, solving two-step equations. So how many steps will a two-step equation have? Two, right? Yeah, that should be our easy question of the day, isn't it? Okay. So solve each equation. Check our solution. 2a minus 6 equals 4. So now instead of just one thing happening with our variable, we have two things happening. What's happening to our variable? What's one of the things? Being multiplied by 2, and what else?
Subtracted by 6.
Subtracted by 6. So we have to say, well, what would we do first? Do you guys remember a certain a way to help us remember what we would do first? Okay, so normally we do PEMDAS for ordered operations, right? Well, we actually have a different thing we have to do when we start solving these equations. Then you remember what it might be?
SADMAP.
Very good. We reverse it. So we actually have to go in the reverse order on some of these, okay? So instead of PEMDAS, it's SADMAP. Okay? Might want to write that down. I want to write that down as 0.6 SADMAP. I did not give you much space for 4, 5, and 6. Just a heads up. I'm sorry about that. Hope it's over, everybody. Okay. So what would we take care of here first? The multiplication or the subtraction? Tucker. Subtraction. How do we take care of the subtraction?
Do the opposite.
Do the opposite. So we're going to add 6. Now I add 6 to the left side of the equal sign, and I add it to the right side of the equal sign. Do I have to add it to everything on this left side, though? No. Just by adding it once to that side, we're doing the job. Now, what's this negative 6 plus 6, since they're like terms? What would that be?
Positive 6.
0. That's why we do that. So now we're just left with 2a equals 4 plus 6 is 10. Hey, did this just turn into a one-step equation?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the nice part, okay? So how do we solve this one now? Divided by 2, we know that one. A is 5. Okay, and now we go back, we check our solution. We can plug it in. 2 times 5 minus 6 equals 4. So we can check our solution. And now in this, we do the normal ordered operations. We're not solving an equation anymore. So we go back and we do our normal ordered operations for PEMDAS. So we do parentheses and multiplication first. 2 times 5 is 10. What is 10 minus 6? Does 10 minus 6 equal 4?
Yes.
Yeah, so it does check out. It works out, okay? Questions on that one? All right, on number 2, 8 is equal to negative r plus 7. 8 equals to negative r plus 7. What would we do first? Okay, Tobin.
We would subtract the 7.
You're very right. We would subtract the 7. From both sides, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is 8 minus 7? 1 equals negative r. And what's 7 minus 7?
0.
0. That's why we did that. 1 is equal to negative r. Are we done? No. I don't see any other numbers. What do?
R positive.
We have to make it positive. How do we turn that into a positive, though? Olivia, do you remember? We don't just add a plus magically. There's a process we have to do. Divide by what?
1.
By what kind of 1?
Negative.
Negative 1. There's secretly a negative 1 in front of the r. There's secretly a 1 there. Remember, there's always a 1 in front of things. Secretly. Because 1 times anything is just itself. So what's going to happen if you take negative 1r divided by negative 1? It makes it positive. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. What happens over here? A positive divided by a negative is a
Negative.
negative. So now negative 1 equals r. Okay? We can go ahead and check that just to make sure. 8 equals negative of negative 1 plus 7. So here's where that parentheses thing I do really comes in handy. Because what happens with two negatives in a row? Turns into a positive. You add the opposite of it. So what's 1 plus 7? 8. Sometimes if we don't do that parentheses there, we just only put one negative there and we get it wrong. We have like 8 is 6, and 8 does not equal 6. Okay? I want you guys to try number 3. Okay, when you have it or have questions, raise your hand on number 3. And then we'll have, yeah. We'll have to. $4 for a single talkie right now, though. I'm gonna go pick up a couple today. Yeah, and it ends today for the $3 to the booster club. So they're only so it's $1 goes to IV, $3 goes to the booster club. That's insane. Yeah, let's talk about this one up here. So, as I looked around, we all kind of knew we're going to add 13 first. We were pretty confident on that one. Negative 13 plus 13 is 0, plus 1 half q equals 50. Now, here's where I started seeing some mishaps, okay? So in our warm-up, what did we do when there was a fraction with a variable? You multiply by the reciprocal. Multiply by 2 or 2 over 1. We're going to do the same thing here, multiply by 2 or 2 over 1. They're the same thing. The 2 simplify off to left with q. 50 times 2 is 100. Now, those of you who got q equals 25 when you divide it by 2, if you go back and check, you'll notice you don't get the right answer. That's why it can be helpful for us to go back and check. No, go away. So if you double check, 1/2 times 100 minus 13 equals 37. 1/2 times 100, what, can we just say what's half of 100? No, what is half of 100?
50.
50 minus 13, will that equal 37?
Yeah.
Yep, it checks out. But if you had put 25 in there, you'd be taking half of 25, 12.5. 12.5 minus 13 would not be 37. I want you guys to try number 4 now. So if you have it or have questions, go ahead and raise your hand.
You're right.
I couldn't feel my hand from yesterday, but now I feel like it just came back and now my arms hurt from yesterday.
Take 12. What's 12 plus 12?
When you was at your mom that was asking you a question on Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah, she does with all she has
Yes.
So what is S?
Or no, quick system.
Positive sign,
No. S is what? 12. What does this say? S.
oh, divide.
So what do you have to do to undo division? So multiply.
S over 12 minus 9 is equal to negative 11. What do we do first here? Olivia,
You bring down the 9, but I would add.
there you go. Add the 9 to both sides to get rid of that. Negative 9 plus 9 is 0. S over 12 is equal to what?
2.
What kind of 2?
Negative.
The negative kind. Okay, different signs you subtract. 11 minus 9 is 2. You find a bigger number, it's negative.
So now do you see what I call Lady Brady?
Oh yeah, totally, totally. It clicked.
Plus my middle daughter and Brady used to be our really good friends.
Oh,
We
okay.
ran around a lot together in high school, so Brandy was always over at my house.
Gotcha. Gotcha, that would make sense.
I call Brandy Lady Brady more than I call her.
So what's happening with S now?
Getting divided.
Divided, how are we gonna do division? Multiply by 12. Or 12 over 1 if we prefer. On the side 12 or 12 over 1, it's the same thing. This 12 and this 12 simplify. So here's S. What's negative 2 times 12?
Negative 24.
Negative 24.
Where'd you go?
We can go back and we can double check this as well. Negative 24 divided by 12 minus 9 equals negative 11. What's negative 24 divided by 12? How many times does 12 go to 24?
Twice.
Twice, and it's negative, because negative by positive. Negative 2 minus 9. Would that get us negative 11?
Yeah.
It does, in fact. 2 negatives. Now, number 5. This looks a little bit different than the other ones we've done, doesn't it? What looks different about this one?
There's a bar.
There's a bar, there's a fraction, okay. There's
Yeah.
kind of a fraction here. What's different between 4 and 5 with the fraction?
There's negative 12 with the K.
Negative 12 with the K, and it's still in the fraction, right?
Yeah.
So So here, our minus 9 was out of the fraction, but here our minus 12 is in the fraction, right? That's going to change how we solve this. Okay? So we're going to try to solve 5 and 6 differently than the side method. And here's why. So here, though, this whole side is being divided by 5. So even though we want to add 12 first, we can't yet. We can't add 12 first because 12 is being divided too. We can't add 12 yet because it's being divided by 5 as well. Here, we can add 9 because nothing was happening to it. We're not dividing it by anything. It's free from the fraction. It's not free from the fraction here. So before we can add 12 like we want to, we have to multiply by 5 or 5 over 1 to get rid of this fraction. So here we're actually going to multiply first. And it's only because the entire side is over a fraction. Okay? That difference makes sense. So you would never multiply first on a problem like 4, or only the variables of the fraction. When the whole thing is, you have to get rid of that first. So these 5s will simplify out. 5 and 5, we can reduce those to 1 and 1. If there was another number here besides 1, we would have to distribute to k and negative 12. You guys remember distributing, okay? But there's only 1, so 1 times anything is just the other thing, right? So we're going to start with k minus 12. Equals, what's 4 times 5? 20. Now this is just a one-stepper again. How do we get rid of this negative 12? Minus 12. Add 12. And what does k equal? 32. Now let's check it just to make sure we did this right, because we did something different this time. 32 minus 12 divided by 5 equals 4. What would we do first to solve this, or to simplify our expression on the left? Not quite yet. We have to do our numerator first. So what's 32 minus 12? From this fraction, right, to the top of the fraction, and then the bottom of the fraction, and then you have to simplify. What's 32 minus 12 on the top? 20. We need to do that opposite side we can. 20 divided by 5. Does 20 divided by 5 equal 4?
Yeah.
Yep, it checks out. That means we did the right thing. Okay? Note this. Is number 6 more similar to 5 or to 4? 5. Why is that? Yeah, the number of the variable, and it's all being divided, right? Okay, so go ahead and do number 6. Knowing it's more similar to 5 than to 4. Can you have it or have questions? Raise your hand. That might change it, okay?
Okay, you owe me $30, and I loan you another dollar. How many dollars do you owe me now?
So, looks pretty similar to number 5. This is the way it looks, right? Okay. So what did we do first with number 5? This one. Oh, okay. These are one and a half questions. Okay. So,
Oh, wait.
we had to add first. Did it make more sense? Yeah. Here it changed because this whole thing is being divided. We want to try and add 9 here, so we want to add 12 here. But we can't add 12 because 12 is being divided by 5. We can add 9 here because it's not being divided. We can't add 12 here. Just like we can subtract 1 here, it's being divided. We have to get rid of this fraction. How do we get rid of this fraction? Now you're ready to divide. So we multiply them by 3. So you multiply both sides by 5. Or 5 plus 2. That's what this number is. That's how we multiply both numbers by 5 and 2. And so 5 and 5 cross 2. So it's k minus 12 equals 4 times 5 is 20. So you have 12, and that's how we got our 32. Does that make more sense? What do you start off with here?
No,
Negative 2.
this is negative. Yes, this was my negative two. But you didn't bring your negative with you. So I loaned you $30, now I loaned you another dollar, how many dollars do you owe me?
There you go. Round the both up, isn't it? Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, let's add
So on number 6, this one's very, very similar to number 5, okay? So, no, bad. The entire thing is being divided by negative 2 again. So we would love to subtract 1 right now, but we can't because it's busy being divided. So we have to multiply to get rid of the division because multiplication is the opposite of division. So we're going to multiply by negative 2 because it's being divided by negative 2. I call this a negative 2 over 1 again. And we have to do the same thing to this side. Negative 2 and negative 2 will cross reduce or cross simplify. That's why we chose to multiply by that. So we're left with n plus 1 equals 15 times negative 2 is negative 30. So now how do we finish solving this one, Aiden? And what's happening with our variable? Oh, addition. So how do we undo addition? So we're going to subtract by 1 on this side and this side, right? 1 minus 1 is 0. Now are these the same signs or different signs? Same. So what do? Add. And what do you do with the sign? Keep it. Okay, if there was multiplication or division, it would be different, but addition and subtraction, remember. Okay. And we can go back through and check it, but I'm not going to make you do it right now. Okay? We checked the other 5, haven't we? Okay? We can go back and check it, and we'll get that it works out. Any questions on that one? So keep in mind, we do SATMAP except for on problems like 5 and 6. That is the exception to the rule. Okay? 5 and 6 are the exception to the rule. Whenever the whole thing is being divided, we have to take care of that first. Alrighty. Let's look at number 7, and this is actually the end of this section of notes. Like, see how I told you it was going to be quick? Okay, I wasn't lying. There was 0 cow. Okay? 0 cow. Okay, Mason, I'm going to have you pick my color, buddy.
Red.
Alrighty. Susan. That's kind of like a Kinger type name, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
Susan has a $10 coupon. Ooh, be careful here. Okay, Susan has a coupon, guys. Okay. For the purchase of any item. Just kidding, I love coupons. She bought a coat that was on sale for half its original price. I think that came out wrong, guys. Go ahead and write it in half there. It came out kind of like a blob on your paper.
Yeah.
Go ahead and write it in half. Right? Okay. She bought a coat that was on sale for half its original price. After using the coupon, Susan paid $125 for the coat before taxes. What was the original price of the coat? Write the equation for the problem, then solve the equation. So what did we do last time we had word problems? Underline key information. Can somebody tell me something we might want to underline here? Hey, Tobin.
$10.
Okay, $10 coupon, right? That's probably pretty important. Hey, Reagan.
1/2.
1.5, so it's on sale for half. Okay. Abby.
Okay, $125.
Paid $125, okay? Tucker, do you see anything else? I see half raised, half not. I can't tell if it's raised. Okay. So what are we trying to do in this problem? Figure out the original price, okay? What was the original price? Okay, that's our question, right? And we're gonna, it even tells us we're gonna write an equation. Okay? Can anybody help me try and write this equation, maybe? Okay, do we know the original price? What do we call things in math that we don't know? Okay, a variable. What variable do you want to use? A? Okay, let's use A. Now what's happening to the original price of the coat? What are we doing to the original price? Being divided by, okay, so it's actually being multiplied by half. If it's half of, you guys remember in our word problem table that we had, where we put the different words and the different different operations. I'm blanking on the word. And we said of was multiplied. If I say half of the original value, half times the original value. Okay, it's on sale for half off. You can actually multiply by half. Okay, or divide by 2, which is the same thing. Now, what else is happening with this? After it's on sale for a half off, what are we doing? What's Susan doing? Using a $10 coupon. So what's that going to do to her price? Subtract, right? Subtract by 10. And what does Susan end up paying? 125. So see how we took the original price, we multiplied by half to get the sale. Then we subtract 10 for the coupon. Does that make sense on how we got this equation? Do we need necessarily all of these words here?
No.
No, okay, that's why we go through underline this information. Very helpful for you guys, very helpful. Okay? So now, can we go through and solve this? Yeah. Totes. What do we do first to solve it? Plus 10. We're going to follow our SAD method, okay? We're not going to get rid of the fraction right away, because the 10 is, we're able to get rid of that. Okay, we only do the, handle the fractions right away if it's dividing everything. 10 minus 10 is 0, negative 10 plus 10 is 0, excuse me. 1/2 A is equal to 135. How do we get rid of that variable in a fraction? How do we get rid of the fraction in front of the variable?
You multiply.
5e reciprocal, so we're going to multiply both sides by what? 2 over 1. Is that the same thing as 2? Totally is. 2 over 1 and 1 over 2, those reduce. A, our actual price, original price. 135 times 2, we can do that off to the side. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 3 is
10.
Plus 1, 7. 2 times 1 is. So what was the original price of this coat? And Kara got it for 125, huh? That's a pretty good sale.
Really?
That's a pretty good price compared to the start of it. Okay, compared to the start of it, pretty good price. Okay. Any questions on this one? All right. We are going to have some work time here on our assignment. Are you willing to pass this up?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Can I have one?
No.
I was like, wait, what? Thank you.
Gotcha.
I kind of deserve that since you're going to be all the time.
Yeah.
Do you guys want some don't do's? Do you guys want some don't do's problems you don't have to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just do
Good luck. Can you take a picture of it real quick before you leave?
it.
Don't do 7 or 13 through 15.
Bet.
What are we betting?
Bet.
What are we betting?
Big bets.
Big bet? Bet. Any luck, ladies? Alrighty.